right, man. So Chilli tells black women don't be scared to date outside their race, to prioritize character over color. All right. And I'll say this, man, and then hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. What's so funny about this is why they don't ever tell black men to do what's best for black men. Right? Why do it seem like when we have conversations about the black community, when it comes to uplift or do what's best for you, it's only with black women? You know, and I'm a double dip in this video. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson had a video, somebody or some screenshots from Facebook where they were saying in this medical school that there were 0 black men enrolled in the medical school, and they were alarmed, and black women, not put on the screen, jumped in there and they said that what about black women? What about black women? Why we could? And it's just like, we at the point where it didn't say it was 0 enrolled black females in the school. It said black men, right? But we're gonna start off with Chilli. And I mean, I just don't understand, why can't we tell the women to prioritize? And that man still ain't married her. He got out of a marriage. Apparently that the guy she with, he played on Boy Meets World. He was Sean's half brother. I knew he looked familiar. Matthew something. And he allegedly cheated on his first wife. She was a Becky. And so why don't we tell black women to prioritize character with black men? Why don't we be like, okay, why do you have to have a stereotypical Pookie? Or, why you can't build with the black man who's getting his education, or he's on the right path, or he's working hard? Why does it come to choosing color over character, but not character within your own community, right? And you have to understand, this dude ain't still married Chilli, and he just cheated on his wife. So that's my thing. Why is we just have to do what's best for us? And that's fine. And that's where I'm gonna get to the second half of the video. Then why we can't do what's best? Why don't we have the same message for everybody in the black community then? Why it ain't best for black men to prioritize color or character over color? Why is it best for black men to do what's best for them? Why it ain't best for them to choose themselves over their children then? You know what I'm saying? Y'all see that all the time. I choose myself over my children. Because when you say, I had to leave my husband because, he was a good father, but, you had to do this for my own sanity. I had to do this for myself. You're choosing yourself over your children. Why do we tell brothers it's good to choose yourself over your children? Then if it's good for black women, it should be good for everybody, right? Right? So I don't literally understand it. And it's in a recent interview with Essence Magazine, Chilli of TLC says black women need to date outside their race, right? You will never hear anybody in the black community say this about black men, whether it be female or male, and not get jumped on. TLC's Chilli has advised women, particularly black women, to open dating outside their race to avoid missing out on potential soulmates. She emphasized prioritizing character over color, stating you want the person who's the best for you, no matter what color he is. And my question is this: why don't they preach self-improvement in female circles, not just in the black female circles? Why don't they preach self-improvement to women? That's my thing. Why don't they preach self-improvement to women? Why is it always the black man's fault for something that happened to you? They never say, hey, you know what, man, our mothers pick wrong. Let's make sure we don't pick wrong and pick the right man. Why is race loyalty in the black matriarchy or gynocracy only applied to black men should be race loyal? That's my issue with it. You can't tell the women to go do what's best for them. And the balance is most black women can't do what's best for them. Brad marries them at a less than 5% clip. So I never really understand the clips, understand the preferences. And then we end up talking about, black men just want a mixed baby. We don't give a fuck about what if the baby is mixed. We're not colorists. If a black man say, I prefer dark-skinned women or light-skinned women, or it's just his preference. Like it or not, just like he'd say, I don't date tall bitches. Like, that's just his preference. Y'all get into the colorist things. Y'all get into the hair things. Y'all get into, filters making y'all look lighter. You got some women who get lip fillers and they talk so much shit about black women back in the day having fuller lips and looking like this, that, and the third. But now they want fuller lips. Oh, it was nasty to have a butt. Now every white girl want a butt. Y'all obsessed with that, man. We don't obsess with that. If we obsess over bodies, it's bodybuilding. Or short kings wishing they was tall kings. That's about it. She says, focus on compatibility. She stresses that quality of the person and their treatment of you is more important than their rate. Why don't she preach that to black women? Why don't she preach that to black women about dating within their race? Let's stop dating pookies. Let's stop talking about leaving the good men. Let's stop calling these guys nerds. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Let's check the character of black man. Let's choose compatibility with black men first and foremost. I'm telling you, they only started to preach healthy things in the black female sphere when it comes to dating outside their race. And she still ain't married. It ain't even like, hey, I got a ring. Brad married me. She got a Brad that cheated on her. Okay? Personal spirit, Chilli, who has been in interracial relationships with Matthew Lawrence, that's his name, has maintained a focus on finding a good person with an amazing heart. And then you gotta understand this too, man. She washed, no matter how young and good her and she 55. No matter how good her and Maya look, she 55. What are we talking about? She's 55. Don't drink and drive. Hold on.
I'm not lying. It's the truth. So yeah. I understand.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I would say darker skin, definitely you can withstand the sun a lot longer.
Yeah.
And so you are known for aging less and slower. Mm-hmm. But Julie's right. If you don't take care of yourself, or you're smoking and you're drinking, using your body and not hydrating, or, drinking a lot of chemicals, or eating a lot of chemicals, it's going to show up on the outside. So
it's a lifestyle change.
It absolutely is.
That's what it is.
I was cracking just 5-6 years ago before I went vegan.
You were not cracking.
I was, 35 pounds more than I am right now. I was cracking.
Hold on.
Because I have seen many black that crash.
So if you don't understand what they talking about, that was Chilli and Maya. They talking about black don't crack, but I've seen them. So that was Chilli. So I've seen black crack, and if you don't take care of y'all, I'm telling you, man, she hate herself. She hate herself, 55 years old, married a washed up Brad who cheated on her. Who cheated on his first wife, excuse me. So, but to the other post that was posted in there, man, and to the other post about Dr. Tiasan Johnson, when he talked about it. So I'm gonna put it on the screen, but I'll read it shortly. So just to give you the context of it, and shout out to my boy Myron who sent it to me, or I never would have seen it. So in this Facebook post, it said, "Hello, Dr. T. I just saw an interesting post on LinkedIn. I'm gonna post all of this on the screen that I thought you should check out. It seems like they are now recognizing that there is a problem at the Meharry Medical School having 0 black male enrollment in the medical school." He said, "If you look through the responses, you can see women ask, why just black men?" Her response was that there's 0 black male enrollment, a subscriber said, right? So it goes on. It says her post was, and she's a black lady. She's an education student attorney. Opportunity alert program between TSU and I guess that's Texas State University. I could be wrong. And Meharry Medical College seeking black males where the students would attend TSU for 3 years and then Meharry to become an MD or a DDS 7 years instead of the traditional 8. If you know any black males who are high school seniors that want to act, The high school seniors that want to become medical doctors that have a 28 on ACT and a 3.5, please message me for direct contact information. Oh, this Tennessee State University, very expensive. The potential free ride for Tennessee State University, right? So Carl says, anytime anyone tries to address the issue specifically about black men or boys, my brother keepers, for example, the black feminists yell, what about black women? They will deflect from real issues that mostly affect black boys, like reading below grade levels, because they are comfortable, if not ecstatic, that black boys are behind the girls. That's how you get 0 black males that apply. They cut off. He said, Rodney says, see, the only advocates for their own advantage and advancement at the expense of black men. The only time we are mentioned is to tell us and others that we are not suitable candidates for them for marriage, education, etc. To the black man, do not matter. Okay, so you have females in this comment section, and they were saying, like, one lady said, why just, and this was a Becky, why just black men? What about the females? And it was clear. You know, it was clear in there. We don't have any black doctors here. Now, one would say black men are not smart enough to do so, right? But I've met many of people that's went to be a doctor, that went to be a lawyer, or whatever the situation may be, and they not smart. Most of the CEOs around this country is not smart. It's based on who you know. You know, it's a bunch of malpractice. It ain't about smart. Brothers is smart. Brothers can get the job done. It's just that it's not versed towards us. It's versed towards us. School is not kind towards us. When we need help, money to get just a pizza, money to get books, money to survive, nobody send money. But as soon as Pookie go to jail, Pookie, they'll put the whole house up for Pookie. And then when you do accomplish some things, you go through school, you accomplish it. Ain't nobody there to help you pay your debt off. Ain't no parties, ain't no barbecues. It's just like, and then when you succeed and you go through and you rise above all that, then you know what it is. It's jealousy, it's hatred. You get a lot, oh, you think you better than us. You know, they run productive black men out the community. And, you know, I think it's a part of them that is subconscious to what they're doing, in my opinion. Like, I think when they ask why, I think they really not, they don't really recognize the why. They just think abusing black men and black men figuring it out on their own and having a harder route to obtain these things, because we know teachers don't care about black men. If y'all think feminists stop at the classroom, y'all smoking crack. They smoking crack. I had an English teacher. This bitch name was Miss Lowe, right? White lady. And she liked chocolate, chocolate stick, right? And she used to have these girls steal my assignments and throw them away so I could fail the class. She hated me that much. And I don't remember doing nothing to this broad, man. And I don't know why I didn't tell my mom. I was just like, I'll remake the class up. And I did. I remade the class up with like a B+ or A. Cause I remember a lady, I had to go to summer school at Mumford in Detroit. She was like, oh, you smart. I said, oh yeah. So when we start talking about is black men adequate enough to do these jobs or be a doctor? Absolutely. We don't have the opportunity. We have feminists putting barriers up. We got these crash out Pookies. We got to worry about walking home from school. We get no help. Nobody wants to help us. There's no programs to help. And most of the women who get an education is not smart. Once you sit down and talk to the average woman with a degree, and they're not smart. They're not smarter than you, bro. This is why they continue to get finesse. They're not smart. Most people, when people with a degree in general, they're not smarter than you, especially these basic ass psychology degrees, or they got a degree in this, but they work at fucking Home Depot. They not smart, bro. Once you go through college and you figure how big of a cheat fest college is, you will get it. But like I said before, if we don't, as black men, if we don't support each other and have each other back, ain't nobody gonna have your back, bro. Real talk. Nobody gonna have your back. Because they tell black women to go do this, and they give black women support this, and they give Brad support this, they give Hector support this. We don't afford that support. It's demonized to help brothers. You know, it's even more demonized when they see black men helping other black men. We figured out just fine, bro. And imagine if we didn't have to go through the hurdles and the barriers and the ups and downs, the loopy loops like on a Hot Wheel track. If we really had the same 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, whatever the meters are. If we had the same 800 meters as Brad, we had the same 800 meters as black women in America, bro, we'd be running this motherfucker. But it's designed that way and they can never understand it, bro. They can never look at it and say, we got shamed out of our communities when we productive. You know, we get shamed when we figure it out and we on top. We get shamed when somebody points out an issue to try to help us. It's like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget my boy. He gonna watch this video. He got, I think, a PhD in psychology or a doctoral. He said two of the things that always stuck out that he said, this dude said to me, bro. And I think about this on a daily basis. He said the best thing he ever did, not get a degree, not, you know, what the best thing he ever did was move out of his mama's house. And he said when he got his PhD, I think it was, his mama was jealous of him. And, you know, that probably made him go back in retrospect and be like, I had to get out of my mama's house. The bitch was hating. Hate to say it. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon.